to share something personal. Even though I'm a spiritual teacher, obviously I'm human. And not long ago, my Thanksgiving dinners weren't just all zen and peaceful, especially when I was very young. And I'm going to drop some analogies from the movie Star Wars. I think all of us have the lightsaber on, whether it's green or red. We are like, okay, I'm ready. And that's kind of like an attitude that is just going to create a battlefield. So I'm going to discuss more in depth about that. So let's start. Tip number 1 is to prepare by meditating. Meditate. Now, why meditation, and what's like this big deal with meditation? I know many of us are using this. Meditation is great because, especially for this situation, meditation put us back into the present moment. It regulates our breathing, our feelings, and when we are dealing with difficult people, we are also carrying all those memories of the past with them. Whether these difficult people or person hurt your feelings, or you just remember, negative moments with this person. When you meditate, you're going to come back and cherish the present moment. And when you do that, you let go of all that junk from the past. So it's like you start a fresh new chapter. You can do that, at your holiday table. So meditation. And before I move to tip number 2, I would like to encourage you to search for metta meditation, also known as loving kindness meditation. It's a beautiful meditation that takes you from offering loving kindness to yourself first, and gradually it takes you offering loving kindness to your neighbor, to someone you don't know, to a stranger, and then all the way to offering loving kindness to the person you're having difficulty with. So metta meditation or loving kindness. Okay, so let's move now to tip number 2. Tip number 2, challenge yourself with a positive mindset. Most of the time, we already have the preset mindset of like, crap, why do I have to go tomorrow? Or like, oh man, do I really have to go tomorrow? That's a negative energy that you're already creating, coming from this negative preset mindset. So why don't we go from that to something like, I'm going to be contagiously happy no matter what, and nobody is going to break this smile. What do you think of that? That's like a positive affirmation, just embracing your own peaceful, happy self. That's a whole different type of mindset. Let me repeat that again. I'm going to be contagiously happy no matter what. So now you're going to your event with a positive attitude, raising your energy vibration, obviously. Now, for those who are really severely wounded, emotionally wounded by this difficult person, this might not be an easy tip to do, and I understand, I get it. So for those specific group of people that have gone through a lot with the other person, and you must face that person tomorrow, only if you have to, of course, you decide, then I encourage you to really take care of your feelings. See, that's why meditation helps us, because when we come back to the present moment, we start becoming aware and taking care of like, okay, where am I at with my feelings? Where am I at, with my breathing, with my body? Am I tense? Am I already getting some type of negative vibe? And so by doing that, you're going to first then practice what is called self-compassion, for yourself. That's what we do a lot in mindfulness. We master first self-compassion in order to offer compassion to others. Okay, so that's tip number 2, challenge yourself with positive mindset. And tip number 3, it's be aware of your ego. So drop the lightsaber, check what's your intention, where are your feelings at, like I said before. Are you already in a state of fear? Are you in a state of a high defense mode? Where are you at with that? I think I just repeat that again, but it's all right. If our feelings is like a crying baby, and if you're in a room with a crying baby, are you going to leave the crying baby by himself or herself? Most likely not. You're an amazing soul. That's why you're watching this. You're going to pick up that baby and you're going to cradle it. And that's the same thing you do with your feelings. Take care of your feelings first. Talk to somebody that you have you feel supported by, and so you can be prepared and have soothed those feelings and have recycled and transformed those feelings into positive ones. There is no such a thing as good or bad feelings. It doesn't exist. Feelings are just feelings, my friend, and acknowledge them. Don't put the negative feelings aside. I do not encourage that. What I do encourage you is take care of your negative feelings as a crying baby. Okay? Will you do that? Please type yes. Moving to tip number 4. Tip number 4, take a break. So now you're at your event. Things perhaps are going great. But if things are not going great and you start feeling the negativity, not necessarily from you, but perhaps people in your party are just going back and forth with their own arguments, negative arguments, then it's okay to take a break. Excuse yourself, go to the bathroom and practice mindful breathing. What I like to do when I'm either anxious or I'm an empath, so I can easily sense, all the energy, not only with my feelings, but with my body. I place one hand on my tummy and one hand on my heart. Hi, Trish. We are on tip number 4. I'm so happy that you're here, Trish. Hello, darling. So place one hand on your tummy and place your hand on your heart. And start regulating your breathing, start regulating your feelings. And if you really need to step out of the place, excuse yourself and just go and practice what is called mindful walking or walking meditation. So that will remind you of the present moment and of the beautiful spiritual soul you are. Okay? So now we're going to be moving to tip number 5. Tip number 5, acknowledge the other person's suffering. So tip number 5 is beautiful because now you have become aware of your ego, and with tip number 5, the ego is just going away, sleeping, and your humbleness, your kindness is going to arise. By acknowledging, not judging. See the difference? Acknowledging the other person's suffering. So whatever spiteful words or negativity is coming out of the person's lips, remember that they are doing that because they are suffering and they haven't yet learned how to deal with their suffering efficiently. Just remember that. And this is another opportunity where you can offer the person kindness. Wait, don't go. I want to explain myself. How can you offer a difficult person, somebody that is so hard-headed, for example, kindness? You might think it's impossible. Well, I'm going to give you some tips, okay? And you don't even have to talk to the person to be kind. You can offer what it's called deep listening. That's something in mindfulness practice we do. You just listen. You don't have to agree with the person. Don't let that righteous ego come out and try to make your point, because that's only going to create more negativity, not only for yourself but for those around you, especially if they're children. So there is deep listening. Now, if you're not into deep listening, there's another way to offer kindness, which is not engaging in the back and forth conversation, what I call this a tennis match kind of conversation. Just don't engage. You have the freedom for that. Another way of offering kindness is praying for them, especially when you're there. You can pray for them and pray for you, you know. Dear universe, you know, please help me see everyone through the eyes of love. Please help me sit around this human being and see him or her through the eyes of love. This is where you can show your compassion. Another tip that you can offer kindness is to identify the goodness in them. If they really want to engage with you and you can see that they're trying at least, then you can go ahead and start identifying the beautiful things that they do have. It could be external or internal. Oh, I like the way that you have done your hair today. You can start with identifying. Most likely the other person is also starting with their own defense mechanism. So do that. Now, I have covered how to prepare yourself before the dinner, your event, and I have covered how to deal with the negativity while the event. And I don't want you to go and leave thinking that, oh, I don't have to say anything. What if I have some really important stuff to say? So tip number six is about speaking your truth. After all, you're a warrior of the light, and warrior of the light can also obviously talk. They need to be active, right? But it's the way that you are going to speak your truth. How to speak your truth, I'm going to give you a technique here. Instead of using like, you are this, or your comments are this, start with the I. When you start a sentence with the I find your comment hurtful, you're putting yourself in a state of vulnerability. And being vulnerable, my friend, is actually a very courageous act. Very courageous act. And if you put yourself in that position, most of the time, like 99% of the time, the person is going to back off. But start with the I. The you, when you start a sentence with a you, it is an accusatory sentence. You're already accusing the person, which is going to create that back and forth negative tennis kind of conversation play, okay? I really hope these tips have served you. If you have any questions, this is your turn to ask any question, guys. But if you do not have any questions, I want to tell you that when I was creating this, I remember my own times and how much I have come along. I also used to be that person in high defense mechanism. And I was thinking, you know what, let me share. All this experience didn't go in, just was not in vain, but let me share this with others so they can uplift their mood, go with their, go and enjoy their dinners with their family with the right attitude, with a positive attitude. May the joy of the holiday season, may the magic of the holiday season create more kindness in your life and of your family and the world. Oh, thank you so much for the love, guys. Oh, I'm very honored, definitely very, very honored. May all of you again have a blissful Thanksgiving dinner, have blissful holiday events with your loved ones. And remember, that person that is suffering across you in your holiday table, it's you also as well. We are all one. We are not 24/7, perfect. No, we are not. Sometimes we are the other person, the difficult person too. And don't we all need don't we all need to also be offer kindness? So offer kindness, and kindness will be offering back to you, vice versa. Okay, I hope that made sense. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.